the same way that we go to hospitals to set a broken bone, and we don't shame people for wearing a cast. Um, we should also recognize that there is no shame or weakness in getting help for your mental health. It's just simply navigating the human condition with what you need. You can always tell the things that are uncomfortable by the volume with which we talk about them. And I've noticed that this is a conversation that's often whispered. So I think the fear is just a lot of lack of information. Um, it's not contagious. You're not going to say the wrong sentence. And all of a sudden, someone is going, that's going to be the reason why when you're trying to help. I think that the discomfort is a lot of that is just a fear of doing or saying the wrong thing. But you could definitely zoom out and look at how we do fear some heavy things that make us look at the way we do our lives. And I think the other thing that is uncomfortable when we talk about suicide is why people are dying, why so many people don't want to live. And that is a much more complicated and very uncomfortable answer for all of us, because that is a societal issue. For some reason, it's always been a part of the human experience, but the numbers we're seeing right now are very high and climbing. And so at a certain point, it demands a broader look at the systems and the relationships we have on a broad level that impact people in their everyday, because something isn't working. And the discomfort in not knowing what's working and not knowing how to fix it can be very prohibitive when, people think about having this kind of conversation. There are so many connections suicide prevention has to different components of our faith. It's tied to a central component of the faith, which is loving your neighbor as yourself and following Jesus and recognizing that God is not just in all of us, but with all of us. My joy in that is understanding suicide prevention not as everyone, come on, it's a 5-alarm fire. Let's do this with a sense of panic and, trembling. This is an act of fidelity, because this is an expression of loving your neighbor as yourself. Our neighbors are hurting and we are hurting. And to lean into that relationally and to figure out how do we befriend people so that they know that they're not hurting alone and that they know that they don't have to carry any pain or burden by themselves. That is part of our faith. That is walking a mile in another's shoes. That is carrying someone's pack and carrying it another mile if you have to. That's, laying down your life for your friend in the ways that you give up your time and your energy to be a friend to someone who needs it. And it's also recognizing Jesus in the people that need help, because Jesus was the one in Gethsemane asking his friends to keep watch with him. So if Jesus isn't above that, I don't think anyone else should be either.